install this reverse box, but you know, after reading some of your comments and after being tormented by my thoughts, I'm gonna take this thing off. I want to keep it as close to stock as possible. You know, a lot of you guys came to see Crazy, and I want to make sure and deliver that to you guys. So, and you know, there might be some of your concerns. Oh, this thing is going to be undrivable and it's going to wheelie too much. Well, I did my research. Basically, a lot of the smart cars with the Hayabusa engines, they don't have that problem. And, you know, they run their engines in the back too. Even though this is a way lighter than a smart car, it's almost half the weight of a smart car, I don't think that will be a problem. I am going to stretch it, you know, about 6 inches. But it'll still look stock though. So yeah guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off and save this for my crossguard version 2 build. So this will not go to waste. Alright, so my wheels are kind of tucked in like this. They have too much positive cambers. So what I'm gonna do is redesign the bottom control arms and make them adjustable. And then I also gotta redo the steering because I accidentally put it on backwards. Yeah, we're gonna figure that out and make it look nice. And we're also gonna push the shocks in a little bit more so that we can soften up the suspension. Just building a quick jig here to keep all the dimensions the same. That way the new A-arm bolts right in. Well, unfortunately, those A-arms did not work. They did not fit, so I had to add a bend at the end of the A-arm because of the weird angle of the spindle. Okay, so this time I made sure to check everything clears. As you can see, I added this bend in the control arm because of the weird angle these spindles have. So yeah, everything looks good. I'm gonna start building up some mounts for the shocks and then go ahead and copy it over to that side. Alright guys, quick break from the video to talk about today's sponsor, Keeps. Now Keeps is an online subscription service to help men with hair loss. It makes it easy and affordable to treat hair loss than ever before. It's personalized to you by a licensed medical provider and it comes straight to your doorstep in discreet packaging, so you never have to leave the home, never have to visit a doctor's office. Keeps brings a solution to you at half the price of what usually a pharmacy would charge. Now usually most customers will notice results in about 6 months. To date, Keeps has helped over 1 million men keep their hair, and with over 4,500 5-star reviews and with plenty of pictures to show, Keeps is definitely a trustworthy solution. Now prevention is key when it comes to stopping hair loss. So if you're interested in giving this a try, head to keeps.com/Vasily or hit the first link in the description. Again, that's keeps.com/Vasily. And with that being said, let's get back into the video. So to simplify everything, I wanted to run the stock Miata upper control arms, but no matter how hard I tried, I just could not get them to fit. Guys, as you can see here, we've got marginal room for anything. One of the suspension mounts does line up, but those do not, so I'm gonna have to redo those. But you kind of just see here, we have very little space. And then yeah, I'm gonna be sure to add the proper caster to the spindle. That means I have to rock the spindle back so it stays stable at high speeds. In the end, I just decided to cut the ball joint off the A-arm and just start from scratch. Okay, so I decided to just scrap the whole idea of the Miata control arm and I just cut the ball joint out of it. The other thing was that the wheel was hitting the control arm, so now we have a lot more angle before it hits the upper control arm. Honestly, this is a little bit on the overkill side. I think I'm gonna run a much skinnier wheel up front, so we won't have the issue of it hitting the control arm. And now guys, we check for bump steer. You know, that's not bad. I don't know, that's not that bad. So to anyone that's building front suspension, you know, usually your spindles are very crooked like this. There's not really any points to measure caster. So what I found helps is basically you just align the spindle with the shock, assuming the shock is straight. You know, you just do your best and eyeball it, and then you get a digital level, put it somewhere, and let's say it's reading 5. So all I have to do is just add 7 to the 5. And that will give us the appropriate caster. This is going to be kind of more of a drag application, so I'd probably want a little bit more caster than if it was just a regular street car. Alright, so that is the new and revised subframe. We got these stainless steel plates right there. There's also going to be bars coming up from here going into there. So the whole subframe is going to be removable. You take a look at the sprocket, you can see that the axle will not be able to bolt on because this bar is in the way. But what I'm going to do is bend out a U shape to go around the sprocket. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. That's going to give us the clearance. Now we can probably safely pick up the car. It's very nice and strong. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and weld my heim joints on. Probably gonna be somewhere right there. And then I also bent out some, you know, little bars, and that's gonna go right there. I'm gonna run my chain downwards like that, and one of the things that actually kind of sucks is that the water pump will not clear the chain. So what we're gonna have to do is just block it off. They do sell block offs, and then I'll run an electric water pump. So yeah, that's gonna go like that on both sides. We're gonna cut out this section. Alright guys, so here's the deal. I think what I'm going to do is just have it a little bit stretched to where the wheel, you know, sits right there. It'll just be in more. So I kind of left a lot of room here for activities, you know, if I want to go to a larger sprocket and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is cut this bar right here and start configuring out the suspension. Now the axles are going to have some angle to them forward so that we can kind of land the wheel back into the wheel well. Now it is going to be stretched, but I mean, we're only talking about 8 inches. And yes, I could scoot the engine even more forward, but I just want to make sure there's, you know, plenty of room here, you know. So now we're going to start figuring out our rear arms. Now guys, a couple months ago, HTP sent me their new Revolution 2500 welder to try out, and I've got to say, it's been an amazing machine. I've been using it all on the car. One of the coolest things about this machine is that it's AC TIG, stick, and MIG, and you have your both TIG torch and MIG gun plugged into the machine at the same time. So when you switch between steel and aluminum, you don't have to switch leads, you don't have to switch wires, it's all there. Now, I will have a link in the description if you're interested. Alright guys, so I got the car rolled out in the driveway, and I am planning on using the Miata stock rear control arms. But yeah, there's still a crap ton of more work and figuring out I got to do on the rear suspension. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of the stretch. I think it looks cool. Alright guys, so I'm pretty happy with the progress on the Citicar. In the next episode, we're going to get the rear suspension done. There's going to be, actually it's going to be way harder than the front. There's a couple issues I'm running into right now. But yeah guys, I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. This video is kind of 2 episodes in one. Normally I wouldn't get this much work done in one video. But with that being said guys, hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Consider checking out the Patreon. Check out the links down below. And with that being said, I have to catch you in the next episode. Stay tuned. Peace and God bless.